Hello everybody and welcome to part 13 of my Salty Shaka series, or perhaps it would be fairer to say 12.9, because what I've done is I reloaded at the start of this turn rather than at the end where we were, simply because I actually disagree with where I spent the money. We just finished engineering, is it? Yeah, so now we have +1 caravan. And we're not going to have time to build it. We're spending all our building on units, so I figure if we buy a caravan here, and then also buy an aqueduct here, although you can see we're not going to need it anytime soon, and what I'll do is research sailing so that next turn we can buy a caravan in Nobamba, both of these for the intention of feeding Ulundi, who will get the aqueduct, and then, you know, when it comes for, when we get a chance, we can build the Writers Guild here and get the culture flowing since we are there. Also, if I was to spend money on a city-state, I think Cape Town would make more sense. They have this quest right now. They're going to feed all of our cities, and that's where we're at right now. Like, the cities slotted in, you know, specialists for the universities, and as a result, their production fell down, and they don't really have the growth to kind of recover from that. That's partially why we were sending the caravan here. When that one's done running, maybe we send it over here. I don't know, or maybe we put it in Beijing to feed Ulundi from, you know, triple. Anyways, so that's the main reason why I just decided to step back a turn. Let's see here. If he steps, wait a second. Oh yeah, okay, because he's got a, okay, step, pillage, attack, pillage, step to with the purpose of attacking. We'll bring the Great General here. We move this guy here for the flanking bonus. All right, and then 1, 2, 3, which gives the Great General a safe place to land. That's basically influencing everybody except for this guy who's still on the outs. This guy comes over here, and the reason we were stepping him over is he was double medic. He goes here so that when these guys say heal up, they'll heal up extra. So now we take shots on the city. This one's our double tapper. Oh, and the Great General spawns, yep, I remember that. Current configuration, there's no damaged unit in range of Berlin, so it would attack our archer. So I'll go ahead and put a shot here that weakens him. That makes him the target for the bombard. We can pillage and move, or maybe it's enough to take the city next turn. We will see. It'll probably be close, so I'm not even going to wager a guess at this point. He was going to head towards Germany. And this one's got to stay here to influence this. In fact, we could move it over to influence this one as well. And since this Great General is here, I don't see a reason why not to. Well, actually, I guess I do see a reason why not to, because ultimately we'd like one of the Great Generals to be influencing this guy too, but maybe it's not necessary, I don't know. You hop up on the hill there for visibility. The default configuration as far as our Athens defense team is impies on the luxuries, this guy, and so that's what I'm going to do. The Great General was coming up, but is blocked by the worker. He taps into the roads for an extra mobility point. 2, 3, he hops up on the hill, heading for this camp here. As is this guy. He's going to do a trade mission to Jerusalem. And he was coming over here because Nobamba's about to grow. Okay, so there we go. And we got this caravan. I want to keep an eye on which direction it's traveling. Okay, it's heading towards Munich, which is unfortunate. I will take your money. I don't know why he would pay for that, but... Oh, we did see a settler floating around. Alright, so sailing is finished, and that means Nobamba. We now purchase a caravan there. And we just got to keep an eye on Yolundi, make sure before it grows we buy an aqueduct there, and don't do anything else with our money until we know that that's a thing. Okay, so we have another double tapper, and indeed none of our combos got hit. Very good. Gun Love You grows. It says 39 and 2. If we come here 26 and 3, that's obviously much better. And this city is about, or tile's about to be developed, so it'll get a little bit better than that. It does look like this city could benefit from a caravan running to it. Buenos Aires targets nearby encampment. Okay, so that would make that worthwhile to pursue, I think, since it would give us culture per turn. In light of that, maybe we do end up paying that one. I don't know. I like the idea of our money going farther, since there's things we would like to buy in the city as well. So yeah, I do think machinery first is the way to go to help our push through Washington. But after that, I think metal casting is going to be important, just because we get that up. And who knows, maybe we buy those. They are pretty important. And part of the reason why I want to prioritize this is because of secularism. That's one more. Our cities aren't necessarily growing enough to support all that, so I don't know if that's reason enough, but I do know that you want that production magnification as soon as you can get it. It's a multiplier, not an addition. So that is pretty important. Kind of like the markets. Even if you have a bad gold city, markets are okay. And that's an even better example because it's maintenance free. But nevertheless, I do think... Oh, and then here's the other thing as far as money, upgrading to crossbowmen. It says here 100 from comp bows, which with our honor tree makes it 67 per. So that's going to be 200 per 3, and we have 9. So that's 600 gold we will need at that point. And not necessarily need, because a lot of these guys are human monuments. So we don't have to upgrade those. Alright. Temple is finished in the capital. Let's get back to producing units. This is our current unit supply, but we're about to take over Berlin. And Berlin is actually quite populous. It's 14. If we captured it right now, we would be left with 7. So that's 2 unit supply for the city, and then 3.5 for half the population. So that's plus 5.5. In theory, you don't actually get halves. It's all a matter of what the sum of your population is. Okay, so we'll step here, pillage, and cross the river, because we're not going to be able to capture this on the way into Munich, but maybe we can intercept it on the way out. This is the guy that got shot. Isn't that something? We'll step, pillage. So he can step, pillage, cross the river. We can start antagonizing these units. And look at that. He's trying to pick on Zurich. So we can come in from behind and punish that. For this reason, I think... he only has double buffalo, so stepping back into the rough isn't that big of a thing. I'm just thinking maybe we should have these guys cross the river here and here so we can wreak a little bit of havoc here. You don't want to just send 1 unit or 2, although he does look pretty weak in his own lands, so it wouldn't be the worst of things. As for this guy, I guess we'll just... Well, this gets him out of the range of the archer. I don't know how important that is, but... since the archer can't reach this, maybe they decided to like tag team on one of these or something. Alright, so now this great general should be free to step here, and if we had left it there last turn, maybe we would have been free to step forward. I don't know. What I do know is we can say pillage here and step. And what I want to do is move this great general here, influence everybody there. And he seems safe there, right? There's no way. He'd have to come all the way around here, across multiple rivers. We got zone of controls everywhere. So I think he's fine being dangled like that. And this way we have another unit on this other side. That way if he tries to like capture our worker, that is not an option for him. In fact, since this worker wants to come here to start repairing that, maybe we have this guy go 1, 2, 3, land there. That seems better. He can't reach this because of river, zone of control. Actually, you know what? I should have put in my shots first, It seems pretty clear by the level of health that this turn was not an option. So, uh, well, maybe if we had both attack, maybe, but I'd rather just get the shots in and stuff. We can keep pillaging lands. We're not actually in a rush because it's going to take another 2 turns to intercept this. 1 to get into position, and then maybe that's the turn we make peace. We can kill stuff in the meantime. Get some extra gold. Alright, so we got a caravan here. And I was looking at things off camera, even though normally, based on where we're positioned, attacking Boston from this direction kind of made sense, especially since we can set up on hills. We've already told him. He talked to us about passing through, so we've already told him we're not attacking him. I don't know how long that lasts, but I'm pretty sure it's either going to be like 30 or 50, something like that. And we're obviously going to break that. So we could come down here and get into position so that when we do attack, we get sweet, you know, initiative on the city tile itself. However, because we have most of our army like detached from the main forces, I think it might be worthwhile to try and attack from here. You know, there's a pinch point here, pinch point here. Maybe we can set up in a way that he starts throwing units at us. We can pick them off slowly while our team in the back gets, you know, up here. And then, you know, maybe they come from here or something. I don't know. I was just thinking maybe it's worth re-examining. Okay, so 8 turns until growth. 7 turns until growth, that's better. We have this guy, he's about to give us a bunch of gold. So that'll help with all of that. Let's see here, 1. If we come 2, 3, maybe we can reach the camp. It's just a warrior, and if this guy's way up here, then he might actually be trying to do something about it. We know the AIs go first, or the major civs go first. So he'll be out of the way. So he might come in and attack, in which case we can just scoop in. In light of that, let's have this guy come over here and help him chase down this camp. Because we've been ignoring this camp for a minute, so there's probably a few units here. And since Buenos Aires wants it in their culture, I do think it's worth chasing, even though it's a little out of our way. We are in a position where we can start creating units on the home front. So we should be able to backfill. Look at this. Remember that little detachment of Germany that was coming through? Well, either they're heading back home or they're coming after Athens. Either way, we are semi-prepared for that. Can move the Great General here. If I knew this was coming, I totally would have gotten the worker out of the way. Oh, we'll step and shoot and should be able to finish. No, because he's in rough. That's okay. That's okay. And then he can come and be the human monument. Although we might have him cross the river to chase down, because if there was like 3 or 4 units, like a bunch of warriors and a combo. So if they're literally trying to get back home, I think having the Great General and everybody, like, skip the human monument for now, just, you know, kill all these guys. Because not only will it be gold for us, but within range of Athens, it'll also be faith, so that'll be pretty nice. Speaking of faith, we have the belief that each great person expended is plus 50 faith, so this will actually get us plus 50 faith next turn. Let's just see where we're... 32 turns, so it would take us 2 at our current rate, but once we expend that great person, we'll be able to buy a pagoda. And that'll, you know, somewhat offset the lack of a human monument over there for a turn. Okay. So we'll watch the caravan run and hide. We saw a Zurich unit get stomped. Geneva seeks a new natural wonder, and so did Buenos Aires, who were about to chase after that camp too. So our scouts are gonna be doing what we can. Promotion there. Yeah, okay. We want to focus on the main war. Okay. So this guy got bombarded after all. Well, so what does that mean the archer did? Oh, maybe the archer was acting on this guy and that's when they stomped him. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's see. So we'll stomp this guy here. We can say pillage. It might be worth surrounding this guy. Like say here, this guy could go 1, 2, 3, and then this guy could swoop in and try to attack. In light of what it's going to take to kind of set up over here, I'm not too worried about wasting time chasing after just this couple extra gold. Although perhaps I should be, because it's just going to be the swordsman, right? I mean, we'll leave... This guy already pillaged, so we can just have him sit here and wait. He can pillage across the river next turn. That seems fine, right? Because he'll get bombarded, so we'll definitely need to pillage. Or what we can do is we'll move this guy here. Because I was thinking he can move and pillage this turn. Intercept the caravan next turn, come here, pillage, and then if we make peace, we just get ejected. I don't want to make peace if we've got people on this side of his borders. Like this guy can go 1, 2, like pillage. All right, so let's just say it is going to be, we're going to be at it for another 2 turns. In that case, we can come here, say pillage like so, bring him over here as a flanker, and we didn't quite kill that guy off. But now he's damaged, so he'll probably be the bombard target. And as for the Great General, I was talking before about maybe like setting it up here. So maybe we just back him off. We're not going to be getting too beat up over here, I don't think. Alternatively, yeah, because alternatively we'd have to set him here to influence everybody. Because if we come here, he's not going to be influencing that. Or we come here, say it's okay that he's not going to influence that because he's going to get bombarded here, and then come over. That's probably better. We'll just save what we can. That way the pillagings will actually go farther. In fact, it looks like we're probably not going to need 2 for here, so what I'll do here is I'll pillage, step pillage, get the most money, heal him up the quickest, and now these guys will almost certainly be able to rock this city. We'll start with the guys who don't need the XP as much, the double tap, and then 1 here, and that still leaves, and then 1 here, and that means they both have mobility, which means we can back up. And now this guy just takes the city. Nice and clean. There we go. Let's take a look at it. Whoa! Wow, look at this. We've got 2 good happiness buildings. We've got 3 good growth buildings as well as a library. Amphitheater with great work. Which I don't know how I can say to tourism. We're in resistance. The city shouldn't be producing anything as evidenced here. See, it even says tourism. +0. Chichen Itza, statue of Zeus. Check that out. We actually got it for ourselves. And both of these provide culture. This provides culture. The works are going to provide culture. So, very nice. I'm a bit confused as to why the UI... Oh, he must have had a great work of art in his palace. And it got displaced to ours because the palace isn't a capturable city. Nice. So if we move this here, then we... Yep, for tourism. Very cool. Haven't made a great work of our own, but we're already producing for tourism. That's really great. I like that. Okay, so we'll get this guy started on repairing. Great General wants to start heading this way. Can you actually get into our borders? He can, as a result of the roads, so that's pretty good. He can get into our borders. That way they'll heal and they'll come back as blockers over here as we approach Boston from the northeast. So we're just going to be at this for another turn to clean up, or 2. I'm guessing we're seeing so many units because of this here, as evidenced by that. If I could squeak in, I would, but he's probably got the mobility to just swamp this before I could get there. So let's use this opportunity to get the finality of scouting over here. We might have to delete this guy. I really don't want to, just because there's enough unforeseen over here that being able to clean up, you know, the gaps. Or like, whoa, 2. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll hug American borders, and then when it comes time for war, I'll back them up here. With 2 caravans here, it's totally worth sitting around waiting to intercept that. Um, let's see. We would want to cross the river here, and I guess here. So now the question is, do we human monument with the composite bowman? Do we take a shot just to keep this guy as strong as possible as we try to chase down the runner? Probably. I mean, we're doing fine on happiness, and we just got a big boon to culture with the capture of Berlin. So let's just do it this way. That should give us faith. Speaking of faith, isn't it time to buy a pagoda? Indeed it is. We can move here and do that. Now we've got gold, we've got faith. Here we get some more culture, some more gold. Whew. Very good stuff. So let's start with Ulundi, right? As far as pagodas. Well, actually, no, Bamba was the late settle, and we would like to pick up some more jungle tile. So let's start here. Oh, we can't. It's not religious yet. Eee, okay. So I guess I'm going to love you because it's already kind of running out of food tiles to pick up. So we will do it here. We have iron that we can sell, it would appear. So let's not overlook that. Iron there, iron there. And if I remember correctly, Berlin had silver. Okay, so it does say we have duplicates of silver, but if the other one was coming from America, which means even if that deal wasn't about to end soon, which I'm pretty sure it is, it will end when we declare war. So even though it says we have duplicate silver, we can't treat it as if that's the case. He's heading over towards Germany, kinda. He's heading over towards this camp over here. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then this is going to feed the capital. This is the one thing I'm afraid of missing out on this, especially since now we do have the money to buy both an aqueduct and this city-state. So let's take a look. Growth in 3, 5, 25. Oops. Growth in 2, 4, 19. Very good. And then, of course, next turn we'll be adding something there. Which worker is considered a slave? Oh, yeah, he's just waiting to figure out which tile we pick up. Nice. Okay, so we're an ally of Cape Town, which gets us the whales. Big happiness buffer so that we can continue to take cities, which is really good because now the cities are getting so populous that the time it's going to take us to burn down Boston and seize New York, there's probably going to be an overlap. So I'm okay with that happening. Alright, there goes the caravan. And okay, so his swordsman is making a run for it. And it doesn't look like we're going to have the option of pursuing it and pillaging. I'll take a better look at it after all of this is addressed, because we've got lots of promotions. I'm just going to tell him to heal. Demands dies, border grow. Okay, so that's the one that's growing. That is not a river tile, unfortunately. And we have a camp in our backyard. Well, we are about to produce an MP, so maybe he can chase after that, along with West Death. Who would have an easier time getting over there by cutting through Jerusalem. So let's wait here to heal up. We'll figure out where this guy's going. Maybe we can pitch in. Bands of Congo and now allies if he desires trade route. Bands of Congo no longer needs your help. Oh, that would be the camp that we saw America chasing up in the north. Brussels longs for culture. Okay. It's a shame that those two good culture city-states are hostile. Germany and Polynesia now friends. Okay, so Polynesia's going to be hating pretty severely here real quick. And here we go. Growth in 18, growth in 15. It's getting better. We probably will have to send a caravan there. Maybe it was a mistake to send both caravans here. I don't know. So let's see. Colosseum's finished here. Is it time for Iconda? I don't think aqueducts in the expands are going to make much sense, given our honor perpetual war stance. I just don't think the game's gonna last long enough to justify that. I think it's justifiable in the capital because of the National College, because of the way the capital's population influences city connections, stuff like that, and because we're just buying it outright. The part of the reason why I'm thinking Iconda is because there is a autocracy policy that turns that into happiness, as well as the armory and the military academy. And they're big having, like +2 each. So if we can get autocracy, that'll be great. And that's part of the reason why I think buying the caravans, buying the aqueduct, getting our science up as high as possible is good, because the next threshold, we beat the medieval threshold, we beat the Renaissance threshold, the next threshold is getting an ideology. Sooner we get an ideology, sooner our policies can go towards even more happiness, as well as other things that autocracy can do for us. You know, that's another thing I hadn't considered is by sending the caravans here, we fill out the land quicker, which means upping our production as well, even if we're slotting specialists in. And that'll mean that we can chase after things like Big Ben, and that'll help with autocracy chasing as well. Alternatively, it is a good time to put up amphitheaters, although we're getting plenty of culture from like barbarians, the capture of cities, wonders, stuff like that. So it's not the end of the world. Once secularism is had, if our next policy isn't until ideology, that would be amazing. So I don't really feel a need to go super nuts, and in fact, we will start doing exactly that when we build the Writers Guild. So yeah, let's just do Iconda. With the capture of Berlin, look at that. Unit supply, this is the first time in the entire game our unit supply was actually had a great deal of luft. So being able to produce units across 3 cities is probably a good idea. So yeah, this is probably the great time to get the Iconda up in Nobamba. Okay, well, let's see here. Maybe we should denounce America this turn so that we have options to start shooting on him. If he's going to expose himself like that, I think it's a good idea. Unfortunately, when I move these guys across the river to heal up quicker in borders, I wasn't considering the fact that this guy's got to cross the river. So that's unfortunate. In light of that, he's in borders. Okay, lots to think about here. I don't think firing... Well, you know what? What we can do is step this guy forward there. Now we know for a fact that firing on this guy right now is probably not the best option. These two are both double tappers, though. So perhaps doing something like this, this, this is a good setup. Not necessarily for this turn, because his units will move. But maybe next turn they move back here because they're trying to keep visibility on what might be coming. Okay. Not a medic, not a medic. He is a medic. And he can land here. Okay, let me take a look at this first. We could kill this, but... we already got the caravan. Right now, backing our units up might be worthwhile. He can get across the river because of 1, 2, 3. In fact, if we get our people across the river, get this over with, and make peace, we should get expunged in this direction. So yeah, like step, pillage, cross, step, pillage, cross. I'm crossing here so that he can cross here, so that if we do get expunged, hopefully this guy stays along the road. We'll bring the Great General over here, like so. He can join them. Okay, we're just going to let these guys go. That way we can make peace now. Because this does look like a configuration that makes it a good idea to denounce America this turn.
You were saying?
That way we have the option of declaring war. next turn. And quite frankly, at this point, I don't even know how much importance that is. Like, the world already hates us, and it's going to be considered lying because of the attack. So I don't even know that we need to be projecting like that at all. Okay, Great General advances here. We have another Great General that's going to be slow to hit the front, but that's okay because it's not a two-front war yet. We're mostly over here. Maybe we have people swoop around from down here. It remains to be seen. Let's see, of these two, 86, 82, he needs the healing more. So we'll just have him come over here. That way if we choose to heal him, we can. And then I'll move this guy over here just to get him out of the way, so that when we make peace with Germany right now... Oh! Oh! Okay. Well, if I had known that, I might have done things differently, but we need to be moving towards America anyways. So, which of these MPs is named Germany? This one. And that one. Okay. We might be able to change that around some. I don't know. We need to support these guys up front first, no matter what. Alright, so he can repair on that. He can come over here, drop. He comes up here, does the silver, does the marble. He continues to repair all this stuff. Seems to work for me. Alright, we'll follow the road, come up on this hill. I just didn't know if this is mountains. It does look like it, so yeah, we would have needed this hex to have eyes on that hex. And I don't know how important that is, but we've denounced. We can see the caravan here, so we know it'll be here, which means if we declare war next turn, it would be really nice to have the scout right here. We'll just land here and wait for them to get scooped up. Okay. So I think Great General here. Capture that, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is faith. And then we'll step shoot for the flanking bonus. Even across the river, is it enough? With the spear throw, yes. It was showing it wouldn't be enough, but I don't think the tooltip accounts for the spear throw, so good deal. Okay, just like before, it looks like having him cross the river like so is the way to go. We do have bridges now, so at least there's that. And we were going to have the fresh imp come tackle this because this is a new... oh yeah, this is the same turn. Okay. Alright, so we'll get our eyes like that. And we'll double check this. Duplicates of silver, which is illusory. We'll double check this, make sure we're not waiting. And this is the half-hour mark. So I am going to call it here. We'll probably be able to make peace with Germany in the next turn or two. We know he doesn't have enough forces to punish us for withdrawing right now. Probably miss out on the pillaging of a tile or two, but, you know, whatever. We have other things to attend to, so I'm okay with that. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like if you feel I've earned it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.